Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-Unlimited. TikToker arrested after landing his C-182 in Antarctica. 4 pilots grounded after Vietnam Airlines taxiway incident. Senate passes reconciliation bill with $12.5 billion for ATC Modernization. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm your host, Holland Lee. Let's get into today's stories. TikToker arrested after landing his C-182 in Antarctica. On his journey to become the first pilot to land solo on all 7 continents, 19-year-old Ethan Guo hit a legal roadblock. He was arrested for altering his flight plan and landing in Antarctica without notifying ATC. Guo is an instrument-rated private pilot, allegedly with more than 700 hours of flight time. Via his Cessna 182Q Skylane, registered November 182 Whiskey Tango, he has already managed to land in all 48 contiguous states and cross the Atlantic 3 times. In May 2024, Guo departed General DeWitt Spain Airport in Memphis, Tennessee, on a mission to touch down in all 7 continents solo. The plan was to make 75 total landings, stopping in 60 different countries through 50,000 miles of flying. Unfortunately, regulators seem to have stalled Guo's trip. He was arrested after taking off from Presidente Carlos Ibáñez del Campo International Airport in Punta Arenas and changing up his flight plan mid-air without notifying air traffic control. Chilean authorities were there to greet Guo once he landed at the Teniente Rodolfo Marsh Martin Airport, located on Chile's King George Island. This is not the first time aviation rulemakers have picked up Guo along his journey. In May, weather conditions and equipment failures along his India-Thailand leg forced him to make an unplanned stop in Myanmar. Guo was brought in for hours of questioning and detained overnight before being told to leave. After the break, Outlaw prop gets STC approval for Mooney M20 series.
It's time to upgrade your power plant to the first FAA-certified clean sheet engine design in over 60 years. Delta Hawk's jet fuel-powered liquid-cooled turbocharged engine produces turbine performance at 40% better fuel efficiency of typical reciprocating engines, while also achieving exceptional reliability and significant reduction in cost of ownership. Reserve your engine package today at deltahawk.com.
Looking for a new generation of proven and efficient aviation power plants that boast modern engineering, electronic ignition, and both direct and gear drive systems? With 100 horsepower to 240 horsepower, the Skylane and Redline engines offer uncommon value in an overpriced industry. Whether you are looking for fixed wing or rotor, MW Fly Americas has been established to service the American market with dedication and expertise. MWFlyAmericas.com.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. Outlaw prop gets STC approval for Mooney M20 series. Owners of the Mooney M20 series aircraft have another choice of propeller with the FAA's approval of Hartzell's latest STC for the prop daringly named Outlaw. The newly certified carbon fiber composite 2-blade prop got its name with the winning entry in Hartzell's Name the Prop contest. The Outlaw name was submitted by Donna Jones, VP of Davis Aviation in Bristol, Tennessee. More than 300 names were thrown into Hartzell's contest at AirVenture 2024. Ms. Jones's entry was chosen by popular vote from 5 finalists. Ready for Duty commemorates VE Day in France. In 2024, the commemorative Air Force's Ready for Duty was scheduled to convoy with other iconic transport aircraft over to Europe for ceremonies commemorating the 80th anniversary of D-Day. However, a critical engine issue forced the aircraft to scrub the mission. Instead, Chris Volpe, leader of the DFW wing where Ready for Duty is assigned, made a vow to return to France in 2025 in observance of the 80th anniversary of VE Day. The arrival marked the first time in 40 years since the Ready for Duty last visited Europe. Ukrainian F-16 pilot dies during Russian air attack. Ukrainian first-class F-16 pilot Lieutenant Colonel Maxim Ustimenko was killed in action after he shot down 7 Russian drones and missiles during a major air attack on June 29th that involved a record 537 Russian drones and missiles. Ustimenko had used up all of the aircraft's weapons, and his aircraft was struck and damaged while engaging the last target. Ustimenko was able to maneuver his aircraft away from a populated area, but was unable to eject in time. Blue Origin logs another human spaceflight, bringing total to 13. On June 29th, Blue Origin's New Shepard program logged its 33rd flight and 13th with humans on board. The 6-person crew brings the program's total to 70 self-declared astronauts, including 4 who have come back for seconds. Among the crew were Ali Kuhner, an environmentalist and board member of Nature is Nonpartisan, and her husband Carl Kuhner, chairman of the real estate firm Building and Land Technology. That's it for today's trip around the patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. 4 pilots grounded after Vietnam Airlines taxiway incident. 4 Vietnam Airlines pilots have been suspended as the carrier investigates a recent ground collision between a Boeing 787 and an Airbus A321 at Noi Bai Airport in Hanoi. There were no injuries, and the planes were quickly swapped out for flights to continue. At around 2 p.m. on June 27th, a 787 bound for Ho Chi Minh City began taxiing for takeoff. As it moved, its right wing struck the vertical stabilizer of an A321, which was stationary on taxiway S3 preparing for departure to Dien Bien. The impact, captured in an 8-second video filmed from inside the Boeing, shows the jet's wing slicing through the Airbus's tail with surprising ease, and debris from both aircraft being scattered across the taxiway. Despite the dramatic footage, no injuries were reported among the 386 passengers or crew. Preliminary reports suggest that the A321 may have been improperly positioned at the hold point. Both aircraft have been grounded for inspection, with the Boeing sustaining substantial damage to its wingtip and the Airbus showing a significant tear in its vertical stabilizer. In response, Vietnam Airlines immediately grounded the 4 pilots and launched an internal investigation. It's also coordinating with the Civil Aviation Authority of Vietnam and has brought in an independent team to review the circumstances surrounding the event. After these messages, Senate passes reconciliation bill with $12.5 billion for ATC modernization.
The legendary BD4C program is building an exciting future for those who want a rugged 4-seat family flyer with a proven history. The SureWings program produces a complete kit and builder assist program that gives you everything you need to be flying a BD4CS in record time. For conventional kit builders, BD Aviation has parts, partial kits, and full kits for the 190-mile-per-hour BD4C that has logged thousands of hours. Visit SureWings.com and BDAviation.com for more details.
Welcome back. Senate passes reconciliation bill with $12.5 billion for ATC modernization. The U.S. Senate passed the Budget Reconciliation Bill, aka President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill, that contains $12.5 billion for the modernization and upgrading of the FAA's air traffic control system. The lower chamber of Congress needs to reaffirm the legislation as modified by the Senate before getting to President Trump's desk. The mega bill passed in a 51-50 vote, with Vice President J.D. Vance casting the deciding vote. The debate over the bill has been contentious, to say the least. It contains some massive spending cuts, but also increases for border security and defense spending. For the aviation industry, the key number is the $12.5 billion for revamping ATC. It's nowhere near what ultimately will likely be required, but it's a good start to get some important elements accomplished as soon as possible. Airlines for America said in a statement, quote, "We are grateful that the Senate understands the urgent need to overhaul our nation's air traffic control system and included $12.5 billion in their reconciliation for that cause. This is an important first step as Secretary Duffy works to implement President Trump's vision of a brand new state-of-the-art system," end quote. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.